That's really cool. Yeah. So today, we're going to try something a little bit different. I'm not, let's say, the most handy person around. I can kind of usually figure out my way through a job by watching YouTube videos on how other people do it. But when things require precision, that's where things get a little bit dicey for me. And today what I'm doing is going to require a lot of precision. So wish me luck. So today, what I wanted to do is something a little bit different. A couple days, oh look at the glass, it's all like, it broke even further. So a couple of days ago, I dropped my GoPro on the floor, lens shattered, it was in the bathroom. It basically landed face down on the porcelain. This is a couple-year-old GoPro, and so I immediately went and bought a new one because I figured I needed to replace it anyway. I don't know if the battery's running funny. I got this thing wet outside of the housing, so I don't know. Things were just not acting right. So I figured I needed to replace it anyway. But Jack Brantman, who has a YouTube channel, I'll link him below, suggested that I try and replace it. So I got one of these. It's a replacement lens for the GoPro. Before I bought this, because I've considered like replacing like cracked screens on iPads and phones before. I've never actually done them because I'm not that great at this kind of thing. Anything that requires finesse or attention to detail, at least in physical space, I'm not the greatest at doing. And so I'm a little bit nervous about doing this, but I watched a couple of YouTube videos. I watched Mic Bergsma, who I watched a ton of his GoPro videos when I first started shooting with my GoPro. And he had a video on how to kind of put it all together. It looks a little bit complicated, and I'm not sure that I can do it, but I'm going to give it a try because it'll be nice to have a second GoPro to kind of play around with. So it'll be nice to have a second GoPro to kind of play around with. So that's what I'm going to do today. And this replacement lens I got on Amazon for relatively cheap. I tried to find the one with the best reviews. And it comes with two parts. This is the only part that I think I'm going to need. This is the part that actually goes inside the camera. I don't think I have to replace this. The way that these work together is there are threads through here, and it just kind of screws. It'll screw in. You have to get it to the right depth to get the focal length right. And so whether or not I can do that, we'll see. But I think first what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewatch that video, make sure I get it right. The amazing thing about Mic Bergsma, by the way, is he has a YouTube channel, but he is deaf, so he uses sign language to communicate, which I think is amazing. And very, really inspirational. The guy has almost 400,000 subscribers, and he doesn't even really talk because he signs. So really, really cool. He's really into water sports. All around cool guy. I'd like to meet him one day. But first I need to rewatch that video. Yeah, I'm really nervous. We'll see how it's gonna go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like watch the video as I go, kind of like a cooking video. So the first thing he did was he took the, apparently this is like a outer housing or a cover. Okay. That just came off. I didn't expect that to come off so easily. There we go. So that comes off. This is like the outer part of the lens. Looks like there's some broken glass in mine. And then I think there is a washer or something here, or a gasket. Go. More glass on that too. And then I have to unscrew this since the glass is cracked, I'm a little bit nervous about doing it. I think this will do. Now this thing is glued in at this point, so I think I have to break the seal on the glue, which makes me nervous because I'm already cracking the glass here further. This does not want to come out. Glass is shattering, and there we go. So I got the glue seal broken. I was envisioning that I could just finger screw this, you know, like use my fingers, finger screw. Use my fingers to unscrew this, but it's really tough in there. Hopefully I'm doing the right thing here. Okay. More glass. It's tiny little pieces of glass. There we go. Now the way that Mike said to do this was to get calipers and measure like the distance of the top, to measure the distance of the top of the lens here to like the top surface of the GoPro. That way you would know exactly how far to screw in the new lens. And that's a great idea. You just don't have calipers. So what I've seen other people do is, here we go, here's the lens, old lens, scratched, and new lens. My fingers are sticky now because of the glue, not scratched. I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell these are different heights. So we'll see if this is going to work. See, for example, if I set them down like this, these are different heights. I'm going to take the other lens and put it in. And what I've seen other people do in terms of figuring out the focal length is then they'll hook it up using the HDMI out and hook it up to a large monitor so they could see something in focus. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so it looks like it's in. I'm not going to put these parts on yet, like this washer or the gasket and this outer thing, until I can figure out what's going on with the focal length. So let's try that. I gotta find, I don't even know if I have a cable, a micro HDMI to HDMI cable. Let's see. Is this it? I think this is it. Alright. I do have one. So I'm just gonna hook it up to a monitor and see how it goes. See what we got here. Cool. I am looking at, I gotta record this. I have never hooked up the GoPro to the TV before. So it's giving me all the settings that are on here. That's really cool. Yeah, so it's giving me all the settings. Now I can take a look at this and like adjust the focus. So let me do that. So if I rotate this lens, it gets too blurry, out of focus, then really good, and then not so good. So I think what I'm going to do is eyeball it, that's the kind of thing that gets me into trouble. Alright, this is about how far the camera is when I'm running and I'm holding it, you know, looking at myself. I like that. Like, I'm looking at my glasses in particular, and those are really sharp right now. And I think that's it. So this is how I'm going to button it back up. Do that again. That whole process. And then this guy. And here, there's little nubs in here that correspond to the notches like over here. So you have to line those up. Okay. All right. Well, now it looks like I've got a working GoPro. Got to clean the lens a little bit. I got some fingerprints on it, but other than that, it looks great. It seems to be working. I'm recording a video right now. Now I have a backup GoPro. Now this one will probably live in my, take it off this here. This will probably live in my, I have a Tech GoPro gimbal, so I'll probably leave that in there most of the time. Otherwise, I'll use it possibly in the chest mount that I got, or I have a head mount too. So something like that. Other times, I like to put this, I think I might put this in, I have the GoPro clamp, and a lot of times if we're taking the stroller out, I'll clamp it to the stroller and use the stroller as basically like a huge gimbal, or at least a dolly. So it gives me lots of other options, plus I'll still have the big GoPro or the new GoPro that I can use. That'll be my handheld, that'll be my primary one. So now I've got two GoPros, which I didn't even think that I'd be able to do this, and so far, you know, I'll take some test footage and we'll see that next, but so far it's working out. And big thanks to not only Mic Bergsma for posting the video on how to replace this thing, but also for Jack Brentman for making me think that I could actually do this. So Jack, next time I see you, I owe you a beer. Thanks very much, and very excited. Now I've got two GoPros that I can play with, and I'm looking forward to that. All right, thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you tomorrow.